Good afternoon, this is your Solent Journalism Update at 1:30 with Neto Brazil. Hundreds of people will sleep in St. Mary's Stadium as part of the Big Sleep Out event designed to raise money for the homeless. Lucy Kettle from the Big Issue Foundation explains why this event is so important.
They really bring the issue of homelessness to the forefront of people's minds, and it goes towards breaking down those barriers between people that are homeless and the general public. I think people's ideas of the homeless community can be very different from the reality of it.
The Security Minister, Ben Wallace's speech has been leaked, which details how the EU and the UK plan to maintain their existing security arrangements. Theresa May wants to create a partnership which will lead to exchange information on criminals, tackling terrorism and possibly fast-tracking extraditions. The Prime Minister is currently negotiating a deal. Mental health is becoming a real problem for British students, with the stress of studies and living taking its toll. Our reporter Very Young has more.
Life at university can be demanding and stressful. Not only are students juggling academic studies, many are often navigating other challenges. Attending university can often mean moving away from home, becoming more independent, managing personal finances and having to take up a part-time job. The number of first-time students arriving at university who report a mental health condition is now 5 times higher than 10 years ago. Alongside this, students are now 3 times more likely to drop out of university because of mental health problems. Andy Fleming, a student from Southampton University, told me about his struggles with mental health whilst in his second year.
I suffered a manic episode with psychotic symptoms, which is essentially a psychotic episode. And the symptoms of which were I was paranoid, suffered delusions, hallucinations, and basically I just couldn't trust my own senses to a large extent. So I had to drop out of university at that time. It was around October time. I spent a little bit of time at home where my symptoms got progressively worse, and then I was eventually sectioned.
The mental health of students should be a high priority for the government and for universities, as half of all UK school leavers go on to study at university. Although there has been a sharp increase in the number of students trying to access support services, the psychological health and well-being of these individuals is not always being met. Delays in treatment can leave students with mental illness without appropriate support. This can have a huge impact on individuals' learning and can lead to further deterioration. Harrison Reid, a student officer for mental health at Solent University, sat down and told me what services are available to students seeking help if they're concerned with their mental health.
Definitely tell their closest friend straight away. Go to the student hub, speak to one of the advisors. They're all really nice in there and will help you accordingly. And if you deem it necessary, then obviously going for counselling really works. I'm in counselling myself. And it just keeps everything realigned. You know, it's easier speaking about it so that you can kind of divulge and entertain your thoughts a bit, and kind of focus on what you need to do to improve your well-being. And the counsellors here are obviously fully trained and will help you really, as much as they can.
Very Young for Solent News.
Price for red meat could rise. Experts from the University of Oxford say that the government should consider a meat tax in a bid to reduce consumption. However, Southampton butcher owner Gary White is not happy with the idea.
Without a doubt, it affects your business. I personally think a lot of butchers aren't going to agree to it. I used to have a shop in Bitton Park Triangle 4 years ago, and I had it for 25 years. When I went there was 42 butchers. When I left, there was 6. And I was told by the Environment Health the other day from Winchester, there's only 8 traditional butcher shops under their district.
That's all from us for now. You can find all our stories and more online at solentjournalism.co.uk. We'll be back at 3:30 with another update.